Hello. Today is Tuesday, November 16th, and welcome to Commissioner in Car. I'm Dustin Zarni, Democratic Commissioner of Onondaga County for Board of Elections. And today, counting. We are well underway here. It went a little slower today than we were hoping. We have about 6,300 absentees that are going to determine many of the races around Onondaga County. Unfortunately, by the end of today, we only got about through 2,700. Now, the first day is always the slowest day, as we are dealing with a lot of objections and challenges, and even just people at the tables taking time looking through the absentee ballots, because we did all of our contentious races first. We had 6 tables open. The town of Manlius, the town of Geddes, including the village of Salve, the town of Camillus, including the village of Camillus, the town of Spafford, and the town of Salina, and the town of Lysander all started the day today for and so because these were all races that had candidates within the absentee ballot margin, we had a lot of observers from these different campaigns today, and especially at the village of Geddes, the village of Salve / town of Geddes table. Because there were several races in contention over there. And when you have observers at the table, it just takes longer to get through the opening of the ballots, because you got to show the front and the back and re-show them if they missed it, and wait for them to make their marks on their own paper, that kind of stuff. So we got through about 2,700 or so ballots today. We expect to get through the rest of them by the end of tomorrow. So we hope to be done by the end of tomorrow and have counts on what will go to the hand count. But here's what we know already. The village of Salve mayor will absolutely go to a hand count. Looks like there's a margin of about 15 votes there, separating the two candidates. And we will have a hand count for those on Monday. That is also the village, or the town of Spafford town board. It looks like a 2-vote margin there. So that will have a hand count of all ballots cast in that race on Monday. And it also looks like the proposition for the village of Camillus for the marijuana dispensary is a 4-vote margin in favor of banning marijuana dispensaries. So we will have also have a hand count on that as well. The 2 races that we also figured out that the town of Lysander council race will not need a hand count. It looks like Kevin Rhodes is going to win that race and be the next town councilor in Lysander. It also looks like the Salina 2nd Ward and the village of Salve 1st Ward and 3rd Ward, the Republicans all won those races without needing. I'm sorry, the 3rd Ward was won by the Democrat, Mr. McVicker, winning re-election without needing a hand count on that. Then the 1st Ward was for Salve, and the 2nd Ward for Salina. Those were won by the Republicans without needing a hand count. So those are the races that we know that were in contention. What we are still finishing up counting is Geddes Town Council and all of the races, including Onondaga County Legislative 10 in Manlius. And that's Manlius Supervisor, Town Council, Town Justice, and OCL 10. We have about 2/3 of the way through that Manlius one, and about 2/3 of the way through the Geddes one as well. So we expect to have that done hopefully by noon, the noon update on tomorrow, and then we'll know whether any of those are headed towards a hand count. Right now, it's very close in the Geddes Town Council race and could easily go to a hand count, or it could also go over the hand count. So we'll have to see how that goes. As we get through. I didn't see many questions on my little post about Commissioner Carr, but there was one which goes to absentee balloting. with the wake of the failure of Prop 2 or Prop 3, which allows for no-fault absentees, or was that Prop 4? It was Prop 4. So people wanted to know what will happen. Will we have a pandemic excuse next year? As it stands right now, no, we will not. But I know legislation is being introduced, and it'll be up to the legislature to pass and the governor to sign in early January or February if this pandemic excuse will be allowed for next year. Now, the other question was, will it be challenged in court? And I have no idea. I think we'll have to see where the numbers are for COVID in next year. While we always hope that it's going down, we don't see that right now. It looks like a fourth wave is continuing to ravage our communities throughout New York, especially New York City. And without the no-fault absentees, the only way that you can have absentees for risk of spreading disease is through further legislation that we've had for the last 2 years. It is not a fix for no-fault absentees. We are going to have to wait quite some time for that to restart, maybe 2024, maybe 2025, before that is enacted. So if it is enacted by the voters. So yeah, we have a long way to go on that. So that's all I got for today. I don't see any questions. We'll be back at it at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so watch my Facebook and Twitter feeds for where we are, especially around the noon and 4:30 or so dump. Of course, we'll dump it before 4:30 if we get done before 4:30. We hope to be done tomorrow so we can send out letters and be prepared for the hand counts on Monday. So that's where we're at. If, of course, you're hoping to see these results for yourself, you can go to onvote.net. The unofficial absentee ballots results are up there, along with the unofficial election day results. And you can see what the margin was on election day and see what the margin is on the absentees. There is no way to merge those until we certify, so we won't have that ready until we certify. So if you got to kind of do the math yourself for a couple of days here until we certify these elections next week. So, all right. Thank you very much for tuning in. And please remember that, one thing that did happen, please remember that the last chance to make your voice heard on redistricting is possibly this Friday at 11 a.m. The county executive is holding a hearing. I hope that you go to that. I hope that you make your voice heard. It is the last chance to stop the new county ledge maps. And next week I'll be meeting with the city redistricting commission and hopefully getting some information from them about how you can start participating in them. I shared their links on my Facebook page, but take a look for the City of Syracuse redistricting links, Facebook, Twitter, all of that, because they are getting ramped up, and I believe that process is going to be a process that actually listens to the voices of the people instead of treating them as an obstacle. So, but, and I haven't decided whether I'll be attending the hearing on Friday or not. It really depends on where we're at with the election. And while I've made my voice heard, that was to the reapportionment committee and the legislature, I think it's important that we all voice our opinions to the county executive and ask him to veto these maps so we can get to work on true negotiating bipartisan maps and avoid costly and embarrassing lawsuits. So we'll see what happens. All right. But that's for this week's Commissioner in a Car. And stay tuned. Next week we'll do another Commissioner in a Car on Tuesday. And I'm kind of toned down on all of my Facebook and Twitter stuff until after this election is certified and after Thanksgiving. And then in December, I'll be getting back to my Zoom with Zarnies and Wonky Wednesdays, and all of that is for your wonky election pleasure. So, Mike did ask, town of Camillus marijuana. It looks like, the last I saw, and it's on the website, the absentee results are on there, but it looks like the town of Camillus marijuana proposition is going to pass. So, and the village of Camillus proposition is headed towards a hand count, but it looks like that is likely to pass even if after the hand count. So there will be no marijuana dispensaries in all of Camillus or the village. That's what it looks like right now, but we'll know more by the end of tomorrow. So we'll see where it goes. All right, thank you. Take care, and hopefully watch my Facebook and Twitter feeds, over the next day or so, and we'll try to have some updated places where we will see where these close contests ended up. Thank you. Bye-bye.